and try to say, well, Chris McDaniel, they try to make it sound like Chris McDaniel himself broke into that. No. And there's not any proof that there's any link there anyway. They wanted to win at all costs. They didn't care. They didn't care what it would do. And now they're like, oh, well, we beat back the Tea Party in Mississippi. Yeah, look what you did. You called innocent people. You tried to impugn their character because they thought it was pretty despicable of you for the first time ever that you ever walked into a black community, to walk into a black community and not talk to people about things that matter, but sit here and try to use the race card. By the way, it made Media Matters really angry that I accurately said that. Media Matters had a fit, the George Soros funded entity. They had a fit because I said that Thad Cochran did and Haley Barbour did the political equivalent of shaking a Klan hood in the street. So Media Matters, just so you know, thinks that it is appropriate to go into black precincts and instead of talking to individuals about free enterprise, lower taxation, instead of talking to people about job opportunities and job creation and bringing in businesses to the area, they think it's acceptable to only say, if you don't vote for this person, then this person's a racist. They're going to take away all your food stamps, because that's exactly what Thad Cochran's ad said. I'm not making this up. He's like, he said that he accused Chris McDaniel of wanting to take away all welfare for black people. That's what they said when they went into these communities. Media Matters apparently thinks that's an acceptable way to go and talk to minorities. And this is why this is why Democrats have always been on the wrong side of history where it concerns the civil rights, women's suffrage, the trail of genocide. Democrat hasn't changed. Ask me again why I left. Just nuts. And you know, and if there's no outpouring of condemnation for what they have done, I don't know. I don't know. My worry is that this is how they're going to start doing things now from now on. It's a precedence that's been set, sadly enough. And they think it's acceptable. Well, just so you know, I love that the way that Media Matters and all these progressive groups show that they agree. They're the same. They're just as bigoted as Haley Barbour and Thad Cochran and people who think it's okay and who don't think that women or minorities are able to receive any other political message except one of identity politics. There you go. You know, we were talking about Florida woman earlier. There was a woman apparently in Florida. I was reading one of these stories, northern Florida, who stole her neighbor's identity because she didn't like them and then bulldozed their house while they were gone. She did it. She said that she considered it a favor to the neighborhood. We talk a lot about how identity theft is, these people are pros, but sometimes they don't even have to be, because people need to start realizing that you got to take precaution. You have to really lock down your identity, because everything is connected somehow, some way, through stored on clouds, all of this. And sometimes you think that you can lock it down as best you can on your end, but if the entities with which you do business, even healthcare professions, all of that, sometimes their security systems can be breached and that data can be compromised. This is why you need LifeLock. LifeLock Ultimate relentlessly will protect you. I use LifeLock Ultimate. Watches out for my bank accounts, credit monitoring, everything. It protects my good name. It is very proactive in doing it. And I can't imagine not having my identity unlocked the way that I have my house and my car and everything else. But see, here's the thing. You don't need to change your life in order to protect your identity. You can just protect yourself with LifeLock Ultimate. Visit LifeLock.com now. Enter promo code Dana or call and mention Dana to save 10% off of your LifeLock Ultimate membership. The number is 800-570-0701. That's 800-570-0701. Network does not cover all transactions. Quick break.
You're living in your own private Idaho, living This is The Dana Show.
Don't go on the patio.
Talk lines are open now at 866-455-9797. This is The Dana Show.
Some of the strategy involved in Mississippi in terms of consequences for what the Republican establishment did to grassroots there. You know, I'm still mulling this over. I'm still thinking about this. You know, one of the things that's been discussed is if no one voted for Thad Cochran and the Democrat, because it could be, you know, it's basically a secure red district, but it doesn't mean that Childers, the Democrat candidate in that, wouldn't be able to win if there was absolute mutiny. But the problem is that if Childers is elected, Democrats maintain control of the Senate. They will preserve their majority. So it's a risk. It's a big, giant risk. And for me, I do not want Harry Reid as Senate Majority Leader. And I know a lot of other people think like that as well. So the problem then becomes, so what do you do? I don't blame people. I don't blame people for wanting to not support someone who castigated them as racist, essentially, because they did not. I mean, Chris McDaniel won more votes the first primary, and he won more Republicans, and they went after him with everything that they had, and they were as nasty as they could possibly be. So they could keep their moderate in office. So what do you do if there? I would love to see all of these votes to be shown as fraudulent and his victory revoked and him thrown out on his ass in the street. I would love to see that. I would love for Chris McDaniel to prevail. But if that doesn't happen, what is to be done? Do you risk keeping a Senate majority in the hands of Harry Reid? I don't know. And it's a risk. It's not certain. It's just a risk. I don't know. Would the grassroots across the country be emboldened enough to attempt to just completely circumvent the GOP via write-in or another way and just knock out Thad Cochran? I'm not sure. I don't want to be like some who get on television. I remember what happened in Missouri, and everyone thought they could get on TV and talk about Missouri voter laws, and no one knew what the hell they were talking about. I don't know what Missouri sore loser laws are like, or Mississippi rather. If Mississippi has a sore loser law, meaning if someone does not win in a primary, then they can't go back and be run as an independent or do a write-in. Some states, like the state of Missouri, they have a sore loser law. So if you lose in the primary, you can't attempt to mount another campaign against the nominee, no matter how you go about it. So I'm not. Every state's different, though. Missouri doesn't have a runoff; just majority wins. Mississippi does. You have to have so many views or so many votes. But I'm not quite sure what Mississippi. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on Mississippi voter law, but I do know that it is an open primary state, basically. So, I mean, what is to be done in that? What do you do then? It's tricky. It's very tricky. All I know is that I am so done with the Haley Barbers of the world. So done with them. So done with the Thad Cochrans of the world. And the way that they did people in Mississippi, that cannot stand. There should be hell to pay. Hell to pay. But it's going to take the people in Mississippi to do it. And then nationally, it will take people all across the country to go after the National Republican Senatorial Committee, who aided them in doing this. Let's kick it into headlines.
With all the news that is news, it's the Dana Show headline.
Audio Soundbite 7, the president says he's the heavy lifter when it comes to action in D.C.
Well, you notice